And welcome back to game number 2 of this best-of-3 series, as the Hurricanes will take the field as the home team. And up first is Tyler Moffatt, the first pitch. Misses away, 1-0. On the hill for the Hurricanes is Michael Jacobs. Behind the plate, Aubrey Caverly. At first is Will Davis. Cody Nix comes in at second. The pitch, that one misses outside, 2-0. Scotty Morris is the shortstop, and Zach Kiesler will be on third. The field is Alan Barnes, Travis Henderson, and Lyle Allen. The stretch and the pitch. Swung on, that ball fouled down the third base line, and it goes 2-1.
It's important here, Scott, that Michael Jacobs gets off to a good start. Last time we saw him on Monday night, he had his roughest outing by far this postseason, so important for him and the rest of the Purple Hurricanes that he gets off to a good start here in the second game.
Moffatt steps back in. The 2-1 pitch on the way, that one in the dirt, 3-1.
LaGrange proved they are a very opportunistic team in the first game. You really don't want to walk their batters. They really make you pay when you do that.
Moffatt steps back in. The 3-1 count on the way. Swung on, and that ball lasered into right field. It's down for a base hit. The Hurricanes throw on in time. Oh, not in time. What an effort that time by Lyle Allen as he came up and threw on to first, but
I
looked like he had him. I thought he had him.
Allen, we've seen him come up gunning a lot in these playoffs, and that was awfully close play at first base.
Ump had to think about that one too, but close call as Montoya Young now steps in with a runner aboard and nobody out, and the Hurricanes throw him back to the bag at first, where the runner is safe. Montoya Young now steps in. Again, Michael Jacobs up on the hill, checks the runner at first. The pitch. One misses outside. Again, Jacobs back up on the hill. 1-0 the count. The runner Moffatt takes the lead off first. They throw on back to the bag where the runner is safe.
Still can't get over that first place, Scott. I mean, Allen, ball was hit sharply by Moffatt, and he was kind of just jogging down to first, and Allen almost threw him out.
The pitch. That time he tries to bunt down the first base line.
We talked in the first game about taking advantage of situations. You know, you can win a game by doing that, and you can also take a game by doing the fundamental things. LaGrange so far tonight has had several opportunities to sacrifice runners over or move folks around. They've only done it successfully one time out of 4 attempts. This pending the outcome of Young's at bat right here, but you know, you're going to need to execute, and if they don't, it's going to be up to Cartersville to take advantage of their lack of execution.
There's a ball on the field, and they're held up play for a second to go get it. The pitch swung on, and that ball fouled out of play. 1-2. Montoya Young again looks down the third base line, gets the sign, and steps back in.
And like we always say, Scott, I think the 3 most important innings of any series are the first 3 of the second game. And it's important for Cartersville to really get some momentum going here. They already trailed in this series 1-0. We saw Monday night at South Effingham. South Effingham jumped on Cartersville in the first 3 innings, and it really turned the tables in that series and won the second game. And then we all know what type of back-and-forth game Tuesday afternoon was.
Montoya Young steps back in. Again, Jacobs on the hill, gets the sign from Caverly and delivers. That one high, 2-2. Hurricanes have faced elimination 2 times already this postseason and have come out on top. Let's see what they do here. They need to win tonight to force game 3 tomorrow as Montoya Young steps in. 2-2 pitch on the way. That ball swung on, hit in the infield. Scotty Morris grabs it, throws on to second. They throw on down the line, and the runner is safe. They're out on the fielder's choice at second.
But they'll take that. That's the first time that Scotty Morris has been tested at shortstop. Really hasn't played much short this year, and as well as Cody Nix out at second base, the freshman. Seeing his first real start in the state championship series, and makes a nice turn at second. Ball just wasn't hit sharply enough to be able to turn a double play.
I was going to say that Cody more than Scotty out at shortstop. Cody Nix with a great turn with a runner bearing right down on him. Made a good throw to first, just a little bit slow to get Montana Young.
So Brandon Monk steps in as they throw back to first. 1 out here in the top half of the first inning. 1-0 your score. I'm sorry, no score here from Granger Field.
Huge lead by Young at first. Really looks like he might be going. Granger's tested Aubrey Caverly in the first game, stole 3 bases.
Jacobs again up on the hill. Monk steps in. The pitch swung on, and that ball popped into right field. Lyle Allen camps underneath it. Makes the out, and that's 2 down. So Corey Knowles now steps in. Knowles comes in, hitting from the left side of the box. He was trying to help his own cause here with the runner aboard and 2 down. If you're just joining us, this is game 2 of a best-of-3 series. No score here in the top half of the first inning of game number 2. Knowles steps in. The pitch. Swung on, that ball hit in the infield. Cody Nix comes on to field it, grabs it, throws on to first in time. It goes 4-3, and just like that, the Hurricanes are out of the inning. The Grangers do it off a hit. They leave 1. We move to the bottom half of the inning. No score from Granger Field. We'll take a quick break and come back. You're listening to WBHF, and you're watching the high school baseball game of the week. And welcome back. You're watching the high school baseball game of the weekend. You're listening to WBHF. We're in game number 2 of this best-of-3 series as the Hurricanes will come to the plate for the first time in the bottom of the first. Scotty Morris, Will Davis, Zach Kiesler, Tyler Gilreath, Aubrey Caverly, Lyle Allen, Travis Henderson, Alan Barnes, and Michael Jacobs. Rounds out the lineup for the Canes defensively. For the Grangers, out on the hill is Corey Knowles. Behind the plate is John Scherer. Will Davis is at first. Michael Manning at second. Brandon Monk at short. Andrew Manning at third. Matt Batchelor comes in to play left field. Montoya Young stays in center. And Justin Patterson is out in right field. And we're ready to get things going. The Hurricanes need to step it up a little bit at the plate here to get something going offensively. And Scotty Morris is set to lead things off for the purple and gold.
Canes score only 1 in the first game off a Zach Kiesler solo home run. So we try and see if the Canes can't try and produce some offense here in game 2.
Well, I think very much the strategy has to be very similar. You got to get Knowles, you got to get a chance to see some of what Knowles is doing. Changes a lot of speeds. Left-handed guy. You don't see that many left-handers throughout the course of the regular season.
And the first pitch by Knowles to Scotty Morris. 1-0. Misses outside. Morris again steps back in. Morris was bunting for a hit that time. The pitch swung on, and that ball popped up. It goes on back. On the run that time is Scherer, and he makes the out. 1 up, 1 down. Tough break for the Canes early, and that brings Will Davis to the plate. The last time the Hurricanes faced Corey Knowles, they beat him 3-1 here on Granger Field. Knowles on the hill. The left-hander delivers. That one in there for a called strike, 0-1. Again, Will Davis steps back in. Davis hitting from the right side of the box. Knowles up on the hill. The left-hander delivers. That one low, 1-1. Will Davis again looks down the third baseline. He gets the sign from head coach Stuart Chester and now steps back in. Corey Knowles up on the hill. The left-hander delivers. Swung on, and that ball ripped to left field. Back to the fence. It's at the wall, and that ball's gone. A solo shot by Will Davis, and the Hurricanes have grabbed the first lead here in game number 2. They lead it 1-0. And the purple and gold faithful are on their feet as the Hurricanes have drawn first blood.
That's just what the doctor ordered, as Will Davis tries to excite his teammates as he comes across the plate. First lead of the series for the Canes. Got a hanging breaking pitch that time, Matt. Just hit it over the wall in left field.
And now Zach Kiesler comes to the plate.
I'll tell you what, Davis hit the ball hard 3 times in game 1. He had that double in his last at bat. And that home run, very little doubt about that as it sails over the left field fence.
That pitch by Zach Kiesler hitting the infield. Coming on to make the play is Manning. He throws across the diamond. In time, it goes 5-3.
And that time, Kiesler not as patient maybe as the Hurricanes would like him to be. Kind of chased a curveball down around his shoe top, just hit the third base.
But you know, a lot of times after a home run, that pitcher, he's not thinking he's going to try to groove a fastball just to get back on track. That time, Knowles threw an off-speed pitch, and Kiesler topped it over to the third base.
The pitch to Gilreath to short. Coming on to make the play is Brandon Monk. He throws across the diamond. In time, it goes 6-3, but the Hurricanes do get it done off a hit. They score 1 and lead it 1-0. We move to the top half of the second. You're watching the high school baseball game of the week and listening to WBHF AM 1450. And welcome back to Granger Field. We move for the bottom, or top half of the second inning, rather. Andrew Manning, Drew Murray, and Justin Patterson due up for the Grangers. Facing off against the Hurricanes, Michael Jacobs. Jacobs gave up a leadoff single and then retired the side in order back in the top of the first inning. He'll try to get something doing here with a 1-0 lead. The first pitch in there for a called strike, 0-1. Michael Jacobs back up on the hill. Again, he gets the sign from Aubrey Caverly. The junior right-hander delivers. That one in there for a called strike, 0-2.
Boy, nice slider right there in the inside half.
Jacobs again back up on the hill, gets the sign from Aubrey Caverly. Manning steps in. The right-hander gets the sign and delivers. Swung on, that ball hit in the infield. Cody Nix fields it on one hop, throws on to first in time. It goes 4-3. That's two big plays by Cody Nix back-to-back in the last 2 outs for the Hurricanes.
Yeah, that's a tough play, kind of in between. And Cody did what you have to do as a second baseman. You have to come catch that big hop, and he got it.
Sporting the Russ Mitchell, Khalil Green flat top bill.
Yep. That's that fielders go to now.
This is Cody's second tour on the varsity this year. The pitch. That one swung on, hit in the infield. Coming on to make the play is Scotty Morris. He grabs it, throws on to first in time. It goes 6-3.
Well, for the Hurricanes, and more importantly, Michael Jacobs. Scott, like I said, after that outing Monday, I'm sure there's nobody else that wanted to get back on the mound more than he did and prove that, it was an aberration what happened down at South Effingham. And off to a good start here as we're still early in this game, top of the second inning.
Yeah, but it's always good to get a couple quick outs, especially after you've scored, to try to shut down the other team in the bottom of the, or in their next at bat.
You're exactly right.
Patterson now steps in, hitting in the 7 spot. The pitch swung on, and that ball hit up the gap for a base hit right over the pitcher's head. Bounces right up the middle between short.
That time, Justin Patterson, the right fielder, was sitting on a fastball. Actually got an off-speed pitch, but did a good job adjusting and hit back up the middle. Kind of like you see throw Patterson fastballs. He didn't come close to touching Hightower in the first game, but this time takes an off-speed pitch back up the middle, and he's on base with 2 outs.
So that brings John Scherer, the catcher, to the plate. He'll hit from the right side of the box.
Had a big single in his last at bat last game. Actually fought off a couple of 2-strike pitches and then singled into right field, bringing home a run.
Scherer now steps in. Face Michael Jacobs. Jacobs throws on back to first where the runner is safe. 2 outs and a runner aboard here in the top half of the second. Canes leading it 1-0. Again, Michael Jacobs gets the sign from Caverly and rears back and throws one. That ball swung on high and deep into left field, but coming on to make the play is Scotty Morris. He backs up, makes the final out of the inning. The Hurricanes are out of the jam again. Again, the Grangers do it off 1 hit. They leave 1. We move to the bottom half of the second, where it's now Cartersville 1, LaGrange 0. We'll take a quick break and come back. You're watching the high school baseball game of the week and listening to WVHF AM 1450. And welcome back to Granger Field. You're watching the high school baseball game of the week and listening to AM 1450 as we now move to the bottom half of the second inning. The Hurricanes will come to the plate. Aubrey Caverly, Lyle Allen, and Travis Henderson due up. Cartersville leading it 1-0 in the bottom half of the inning here. Caverly to face Corey Knowles. Knowles gets the sign from John Scherer, and the left-hander delivers. That one in there for a called strike, 0-1. Corey Knowles back up on the hill. Again, Caverly steps back in. The right-hander hitting from the right side of the box. The pitch by Knowles. That one misses outside, 1-1. Knowles pitch. That one misses outside. Did he come around? He did. 1-2 the count. Caverly steps back in. Corey Knowles again back up on the hill. The left-hander delivers. That one in the dirt, 2-2.
Try and get a big inning going. They've only scored 2 runs in this low home runs. Really haven't had an abundance of base runners.
The pitch. That one misses outside, and the count is now full. That call at first base ump. Reggie Hurd comes in because that would have been ball 4 had he not come around. Anyway, the Full Knowles with the payoff pitch. That one went inside, and he walks them, and the Hurricanes have a base runner.
Actually hit Caverly, so officially it's a hit by pitch on the breaking. And now Lyle Allen will step to the plate as Joseph Harper runner.
Hurricanes out to gain a split in game number 2 right here. Bottom of the second, Hurricanes up with a 1-0 score. Man on first, nobody out, and Lyle Allen at the.
As hot a bat as he has been swinging to see if Coach Chester has him bunting here.
Big open hole to the left-hander.
Left-hander throws back to first where the runner is safe. Going back to Lyle, phenomenal freshman year he's had. This has been the most successful freshman year in Cartersville history under head coach Stuart Chester. Matt Hightower had a pretty good year, but Allen, I think, is hit way upstairs. That one hits him in the head. It looked like, well, it didn't hit him, just brushed. Moves on to second as Joseph Harper, the courtesy runner in for Aubrey Caverly, moves in position as Allen now steps back in.
Well, there's the bunt right there.
Wow, I think you bunt him again.
Think so? I think with the way he's been swinging the bat, I think he'll be swinging.
You know, oddly enough, I'd let him swing away now. I'm going to change my mind because the second baseman is the one checking the run.
The pitch swung on and fouled back.
Lefty versus lefty. Knowles throws a lot of breaking balls. Looks like they're going to try to keep everything away from Allen, pulling the ball to the right side and advancing the runner.
The pitch swung on and missed that time. Strike 2.
And Allen that time, as he now falls behind the count at 1-2, tried to pull exactly what you were talking about, Matt, and off-speed tried to pull it and came up empty.
Allen steps back in. The pitch. That ball hit down the first baseline. It's in for a base hit. The run will turn the corner at third. Allen will go on to second. It's an RBI double, and the Canes now lead it in game number 2. What an effort that time offensively by the purple and gold.
So good thing he wasn't bunting. Obviously, there were 2 strikes then. He hit that double. I don't think he would have been bunting then. But the freshman huge again, Scott. And as they say, he trades places with runner out at second. RBI double just inside the bag, Matt.
Knowles left that ball on the inside of the plate, gave Allen a chance to roll his hands over and scooted it right, not Will Davis, scooted it right by Taylor Moffatt, the LaGrange first baseman.
The pitch, that one, in there for a called strike, 0-1. Taylor Moffatt didn't have a very good angle on that ball, tried to come back across. He was playing a little bit over because the second baseman was playing over toward the second base bag. The pitch, in there for a called strike, 0-2.
Now Henderson finds himself in a hole. Tough game 1, got down in the count. It's always tough as a hitter when you get down in the count. His job is the same thing, Matt. Hit the ball to the right side if at all possible.
Well, I'm a little surprised they didn't try to bunt him over to third.
Knowles on the hill, the left-hander delivers. That one misses upstairs, 1-2.
You essentially had the same situation you had. You had men on second, nobody out. You got it reset again. We'll see if Henderson can make some contact and advance the runner.
Travis Henderson steps back in. Corey Knowles, the left-hander, delivers. That one in there for called strike 3, and he gets him looking. That brings Alan Barnes to the plate. Between games, head coach Stuart Chester was testing Alan Barnes, saying, you need to come provide a little senior leadership here. And I tell you, there is no better senior leader out there. There are 3 good ones.
He's a quarterback.
4 good ones. There's a quarterback right there that knows how to lead his team and knows how to step it up when the time is right. Let's see what he does here. The pitch. That one upstairs, 1-0 to Alan Barnes.
Barnes 1 for 3 in game 1. A single and 2 strikeouts.
Steps back in. The count 1-0. Pulls back up on the hill. The left-hander checks the run at the pitch. Swung on that. Fouled into the infield, and they're going to on to first in time to get the stays put at second base. And now Michael Jacobs steps in.
And that's 2 tough at-bats for the Canes. Neither one very productive.
No, that one right into the bat, hit the dirt right in front of home plate. Easy play for Knowles to come off the mound and make the easy play to first. Lyle Allen still at second base now with 2 outs. Hurricanes up 2-0, bottom of the second.
Mike Jacobs steps in now to face Corey Knowles. Jacobs trying to help his own cause with the runner in scoring position. The pitch misses upstairs, 1-0. Jacobs gets aboard. The Hurricanes will be back to the top of the order here in the second. 2 down and a runner in scoring position. Cartersville leading it 2-0 if you're just joining us. Knowles on the hill. The left-hander delivers. That one in there for a called strike, 1-1.
Knowles generates an awful lot of arm speed, and then the ball is not that fast, very deceptive on the delivery.
Jacobs steps back in. The pitch, swung on and missed that time, 1-2.
That time threw the fastball right by him.
You throw enough of those 60-mile-an-hour curveballs, that 70-mile-an-hour fastball looks like it's about 110.
Michael Jacobs steps back in. The runner on second takes a lead off the bag. The left-hander delivers. That one misses outside.
And when we're even at 2, it's Michael Jacobs.
Jacobs again steps back in. Infield again moving around. Knowles with the pitch. Swung on and that ball fouled down and it remains 2-2. Good effort to fight off the pitch that Michael Jacobs. Again, Jacobs hitting in the 9 spot. Jacobs steps in, hitting from the right side of the box. Corey Knowles up on the hill. The left-hander gets the sign from John Scherer. The pitch, swung on and that ball hit over to short. Coming on to make the play that time is Brandon Monk. Across the diamond in time, and that'll do it. But the Hurricanes do get it done. Off a hit, a walk, they score one and leave one. We move to the top half of the third inning. It's now Cartersville 2, LaGrange nothing. We'll take a quick break and come back. You're watching the high school baseball game of the week and listening to WVHF AM 1450. And welcome back to Granger Field. You're watching the high school baseball game of the week and listening to WVHF AM 1450 as we move to the top half of the third inning. Due up are 9, 1-2 for the Grangers. Michael Manning, Tyler Moffatt, and Montoya Young. Michael Manning will hit first as he makes his way towards the batter's box.
9, 1-2 up for the Grangers in this inning. Canes have plated 2, 1 in each of their teams at bat so far in this game number 2. As we go to the third, they lead it 2-0.
They're going to have a pinch here as John Kelton will come in.
Kind of interesting this early in the game. You'd have a pinch hitter.
So Kelton steps in, hitting from the left side of the box. Again, Jacobs gets the sign, the stretch, the pitch. That one misses away, 1-0.
The pinch hitting made even more interesting because Kelton's a left-handed batter.
The stretch and the pitch. That one in there for a called strike, 1-1.
Not so much about that, but the fact that he's pinch hitting for Michael Manning, who never even batted in this game.
Michael Manning steps back in. John Kelton steps back in. The stretch and the pitch. That one missed low, 1.
But Granger coaching staff felt like that's the move to make. Michael Manning can still re-enter the game at second base.
Kelton, the right-hander delivers. That ball swung on, hit into the infield. Coming on to make the play is Cody Nix. He fields it, throws on to first in time. It goes 4-3, and the Hurricanes have retired the first down of the inning. And again, Cody Nix has now made 3 putouts at base. Only a freshman, so the infield for the Canes is 2 sophomores, a freshman, and a junior pitching. The outfield is 2 seniors and a freshman, so a very young squad on the field. Of course, Casey, senior at third. Caverly, a junior behind the plate. Tyler Moffatt now steps in as the top of the order comes up. First pitch, that one misses away.
Borderline pitch, it's 1-0.
Moffatt steps back in, the pitch. Swung on and that ball hit to short. Scotty Morris fields it, throws across the diamond in time. It goes 6-3 and the Hurricanes have retired the second out of the inning.
Right now, Michael Jacobs is throwing a lot of ground balls and his defense behind him is making the plays. This Cane defense is...
Only 2 balls hit to the outfield. The rest of it's been right up the middle.
Right.
And Nix and Morris have been up to the task. Quickly, 2 gone here in the top of the third.
Montoya Young now steps in. The pitch swung on and missed 0-1.
Michael Jacobs again gets ahead.
Montoya Young steps back in. That pitch in the dirt and goes back to the fence, 1-1.
We still are early in this game as we're only in the top of the third, but Jacobs a lot more sharp than he was on Monday night.
Well, on Monday night he was leaving it up in the strike zone a little bit, and you know those Mustang hitters for South Effingham were just teeing off. And today, a little more in control. Stretch and the pitch by Jacobs. Swung on and that ball hit deep towards center field, but Travis Henderson He's going to call everybody off and makes the final out of the inning. The Grangers go in order here in the third. We move to the bottom half of the inning. Cartersville leads it 2-0. We'll take a quick break and come back. You're watching the high school baseball game of the week and listening to WBHF AM 1450. That thing was a tree one time. Come on, Scotty. And welcome back to Granger Field. You're watching the high school baseball game of the week, and you're listening to WBHF AM 1450 as Scotty Moore, Will Davis, and Zach Kiesler lead the Hurricanes off here in the bottom half of the third inning. Cartersville with a 2-0 lead after a solo home run by Will Davis and an RBI by Lyle Allen. Morris steps in the first pitch. That time inside 1-0.
It looked like the first pitch of the game right there, didn't it?
It really did.
Morris's last at bat.
Morris steps back in, the stretch and the pitch by Knowles swung on, and that ball fouled out of the park, 1-1.
Morris still trying to get on base for the first time in this series. But you could say that for a few Hurricanes. Really good Granger pitching staff.
Morris steps back in, the left-hander Knowles delivers. That one misses outside, 2-1. Scotty Morris steps back in the pitch. That one misses upstairs. 3-1 now to Scotty Morris.
Morris has squared around and pulled back a bunt attempt twice in this at bat. See what he does here, 3-1.
Scotty Morris steps back in. The left-hander Knowles delivers. That one misses outside and he walks him, and the Hurricanes now have a base runner.
First walk of the night given up by the LaGrange pitching staff.
Almost 10 innings of pitching, so that kind of tells you why they are here in the state championship series. High school baseball, you go 10 innings without walking somebody, chances are you're going to be successful.
All right, we got Will Davis coming to the plate. He hit a home run last time up, ended last game with a double. Do you bunt over the runner, or do you let him swing away?
I think you let Will swing. He's swinging such a hot bat.
The pitch, that one misses away, 1-0. Will Davis steps out, gets the sign from head coach Stuart Chester, and he steps back in.
You got a left-hander, hard to get a good jump. But Knowles throws a lot of off-speed stuff, very difficult for the catcher to handle to throw down to second.
They throw on back to the bag at first where the runner is safe.
I tell you what, I don't know how many balks he's been called for this year, but if you're going towards first base and you're left-handed, your right foot has to be more towards first base than it does to the plate, and it doesn't appear that he's doing that.
The pitch in there for a called strike, 1-1.
I don't think, Matt, you're going to see Morris run. And, of course, as soon as I say this, he'll probably take off from this pitch. But I don't think you'd see him run maybe unless there were 2 outs.
Again, Knowles on the hill to pitch. That one in there for a called strike, 1-2 now to Will Davis.
Davis got his pitch right there. Fastball about thigh high, and he watched it go into the catcher Scherer's glove. So he's now down 1-2.
Will Davis steps back in. They throw on back to the bag at first. Morris is safe there. Again, nobody out here, bottom half of the third. Hurricanes threatening with the runner aboard. It's Scotty, the leadoff hitter. And now Will Davis steps in. Canes lead it 2-0. The pitch. Swung on and missed that time, and Will Davis goes down on strikes. And that brings Zach Kiesler to the plate. Kiesler 0 for 1 here in game number 2.
Once again, Canes strike out. The runner's on base when you need it. At least make contact, move the runner along. So you got to tip your hat some to Knowles, but you also got to be a little frustrated not executing right now. The plate are the Hurricanes.
Well, Zach Kiesler now steps in. Hitting from the right side of the box. The pitch, that one misses away, 1-0. Got 2 big sticks coming up right now with Kiesler and Tyler Gilreath. Hurricanes would like to capitalize. Zach Kiesler steps back in. Canes leading it 2-0, and again they throw him back to the bag at first where the runner is safe.
Kiesler lost one way over the fence to left field in game 1. Canes wouldn't mind that again.
Knowles with a pitch. That one in there for a called strike, 1-1.
Hard to figure out where you want to stand in the box against Knowles. He throws a lot of breaking pitches, which makes you want to get towards the front of the box, but he spots his fastball very well, and you need time to catch up with it.
Right. Left-hander again throws back to the bag at first, and again the runner is safe as Scotty Morris quickly gets back to the bag.
Good point you make there, Matt, because that's why he's effective. You really don't know where you want to, if you want to scoot up or stay back for that fastball, because as soon as you scoot up, like you said, he'll throw that fastball right by you.
The pitch to Kiesler in there, actually low that time. 2-1.
Wow.
Umpire was gearing up
That's
to
two
ring
pitches
him
in this at bat that I think Kiesler's been fortunate on. That one definitely looked like it got the inside corner. Knowles takes a little walk around the mound, kind of clear his thoughts as the LaGrange folks some dust.
2-1 the count as Kiesler steps back in the pitch. That one misses outside. They throw him down the line at second, and the runner is Scotty Morris is in with a stolen base.
Great timing by Scotty Morris. You got the pitcher all kind of shaken up, worried about what's going on at the plate, and he got a great jump and got in under the tag.
But now it's important. You get that stolen base. You got your 3 and 4 hitters coming up. You really need to make LaGrange pay right here for that leadoff walk.
Kyle, you talked about taking advantage of opportunities. Here's one here in the third with the Canes up by 2 already, but looking for more. Man on second and only 1 out.
Zach Kiesler now steps back in with a runner on second. The pitcher by Knowles in the dirt. That one gets away, but Morris will stay at the bag at second.
That was a good idea by Morris, or good job, I should say, to be safe out there at second base. No need in trying to risk getting thrown out at third with Kiesler at the plate.
Full count now to Kiesler. Knowles with the pitch. Swung on, that ball hammered to right field, going back toward the fence. But this one is going to stay in the park. Patterson camps underneath it. The Hurricanes will tag, and Scotty Morris is on his way to third. And now a little insurance is just 90 feet away for Tyler Gilreath.
Kiesler barely got under that one. Hit it hard, hit it well, but Patterson made a nice play out on it in right field, and now it will be up to Tyler Gilreath with 2 outs here in the third.
The wind is non-existent right now. We've seen a breeze throughout the game. It was actually blowing out earlier, but now Tyler Gilreath steps in to face Corey Knowles. Lefty against lefty. Knowles with the pitch. Swung on and missed that time by Gilreath, 0-1.
That time Gilreath tried to take a breaking pitch away from him, tried to hit it out in right field. And most of the time when that happens, you're going to come up empty like he did that time.
Knowles steps back in, the pitch. That one in there for a called strike, 0-2. So
that was a pitcher's pitch right there, a breaking ball right on the outside corner.
Gilreath steps back in. Knowles with the pitch. That one misses away, 1-2.
Gilreath's probably going to have to hit a ball to the opposite field. He wants to get a hit here. They're not going to come in on him.
Gilreath steps back in. The left-hander delivers. That one misses outside, 2-2.
So good job by Gilreath to work himself back into the count.
Gilreath steps back in. Knowles with the pitch. Swung on and missed that time. Gilreath goes down on strikes, and that'll do it for the Hurricanes in the third. They do it off a walk. He moves over to third, but they strand him there, and we move to the top half of the fourth inning, where it's still Cartersville 2, LaGrange nothing. We'll take a quick break and come back. You're watching the high school baseball game of the week, and you're listening to WBHF AM 1450. And welcome back to Granger Field. You're watching the high school baseball game of the week, and you're listening to WBHF AM 1450 as we move to the top half of the fourth inning. Set to lead things off are the 3, 4, and 5 hitters as Brandon Monk, Corey Knowles, and Andrew Manning will come to the plate for the Grangers. The pitch. That one misses inside, 1-0. Michael Jacobs up on the hill for the Canes. He's been strong through 3.
Time was called
there.
See, once again, that's what we talked about in the first game. The home plate umpire calling timeout with his hands, but not audible enough. Everybody should be able to hear that it's a timeout. That time Jacobs goes through with the pitch.
Monk steps back in, the pitch. That one misses outside, 2-0.
But there's a risk of injury. If the pitcher happens to look up and sees everybody call timeout, you're trying to stop your windup or stop from throwing the ball, you can really hurt yourself.
The stretch and the pitch by Jacobs. That one misses low, 3-0 now to Brandon Monk.
Not the way you want to start an inning here. Jacobs has been cruising along.
Monk steps back in. The stretch and the pitch. That one in there for a called strike, 3-1.
Still has his work cut out for him, does Jacobs.
Brandon Monk was the hero against Spalding in game number 1 of their semifinals. The pitch. That one misses outside, and he walks him on 5 pitches, so Monk is aboard. That brings Corey Knowles to the plate. Knowles 0 for 1 here in game number 2.
Well, the Hurricanes in the bottom of the third were unable to take advantage of a leadoff walk. And let's see if the Grangers can make Cartersville pay for it here in the top of the fourth. first walk issued by Jacobs.
Only the third base runner of the night for the Grangers. They've had one every inning. Or one in the first 2 innings. That time they tried to bunt it down the third base line. Zach Kiesler fields it, throws on to first in time. They get the force there, but the runner does advance. Good looking bunt that time by Corey Knowles to sacrifice the runner over.
Yeah, that's a great play too by Kiesler though at third. That's a slow roller down the line, and there you go, Matt, your cleanup man in the order, and he's sacrificed bunting.
Very nice bunt, and give Scotty Morris some credit. He got over there to cover third to make sure that Brandon Monk could not advance over to third as Kiesler had charged in to field that bunt. So you traded the out for the advancing runner. LaGrange looking to get on the board, trailing 2-0 here in the top half of the 4th inning. Cartersville looking to earn a split and force a game 3 tomorrow.
Andrew Manning now steps in, hitting from the right side of the box. Michael Jacobs back up on the hill. Again, Jacobs gets the sign from Aubrey Caverly, checks the runner at second, and delivers. That one misses outside, 1-0.
And this is where Jacobs got in trouble the other night, Scott. He started walking a few batters, and then he got behind in the count and others. And then when you do that, you have to groove pitches, and that's when he got touched up a little bit.
Jacobs again checks the runner at second. They throw on back to the bag where the runner is safe as Monk gets quickly back to second.
This is the first Granger base runner to reach second base here in game 2.
Andrew Manning steps back in. Again, a runner aboard on second. Jacobs on the hill, checks his runner at second. The pitch. That one misses low, 2-0.
Another borderline pitch, but it doesn't look like the Canes are getting that low strike tonight. Of course, neither side is, so that's all you ask is consistency out of the umpire.
Infield moving around, and again, Manning steps in. The pitch, that one low, 3-0. So Andrew Manning steps back in. Again, Jacobs on the hill, checks the runner at second. The pitch, that one misses inside, and he walks him on 4 pitches. So now you got runners aboard on first and second. The good news is you got to force at every bag.
Right.
Bad news is you still only have 1 out, and that brings Drew Murray, the DH, to the plate. Murray hitting in the 6th spot.
Sorry, Scott, a couple of those pitches very similar to what Zach Kiesler had in his at-bat. There were a couple very close pitches that were called balls. That time Manning got the benefit of a doubt and a couple on his way to earning a walk.
Well, first real trouble the Canes have faced here in the second game defensively. First and second with only 1 out.
Jacobs on the hill, now pitching to Drew Murray. Jacobs gets the sign from Caverly, checks his runner at second. The pitch. That one in there for a called strike, 0-1.
Murray grounded to short the first time up.
Murray steps back in. Murray steps back in. Jacobs faked like he was going to throw back to second. Got Brandon Monk going back to the bag, just trying to keep him honest over there at second. And now Drew Murray steps back in. The Grangers clapping in unison. The pitch. Swung on, and that ball hit deep toward right field. Lyle Allen camps underneath it. The runner is going to tag, but what a strike that time, thrown to third base by Lyle Allen, and the freshman holds him at bay right there at second.
I was just about to say, Scott,
telling you what.
You don't test his arm.
Lyle Allen, at the beginning of the year, was not hitting the ball the way we kind of expected, but came on like a blaze of thunder from the plate. But from game 1 until game 37, he has been money in right field. And that just showed how important he is right there with that throw. That most times,
the runner's going to
9 times out of 10, a runner tags and goes to third, and he keeps him at bay. It's 2 outs in the inning now, and Justin Patterson steps in. Patterson 1 for 1 here in game 2, singled in the second. Infield moving around. The pitch swung on, that ball fouled away, 0-1.
So Jacobs is working ahead here to Patterson. Patterson did single off of him back in the second. But a chance for Cartersville to get out of this.
Justin Patterson steps back in. Again, Jacobs comes off the hill. Fakes the throw to second, and again, Brandon Monk goes back to the bag. Justin Patterson steps back in. The pitch. Swung on, that ball popped up, going back toward the fence. It looks like it's going to be out of play, and it is.
0-2 the count, so Jacobs has to be very careful here. Well, I'll say he has to be very careful. Should be very careful. You're way ahead in the count. Don't give up any cheap ones. Way ahead of Patterson as Jacobs rubs the ball up out on the mound. Umps always, Jacobs is kind of funny whenever he does this. Umps have to always check the ball. And then we'll get back to the game.
Hurricanes up 2-0. The top half of the fourth inning. Cartersville the home team in game number 2. Lost game number 1 by a score of 4-1. 2 men on, 2 men out. Michael Jacobs on the mound and Justin Patterson at the plate.
So Justin Patterson now steps in. The pitch. That one misses away. 1-2.
That was a good 0-2 pitch on the outside part. Hurricane fans wanted it, but I think Caverly will set up a little bit off the plate.
Patterson steps back in. The pitch. That one high and inside, 2-2.
Jacobs tried to come high. He didn't quite want to go that high. That was over the head of Patterson, so it's now 2-2.
Patterson steps back in. Again, the count even at 2. Jacobs with the pitch. Swung on, and that ball hit into left field. Coming down to make the play is Lyle Allen. He's going to throw on to third, and the runners will hold up there with the bases loaded, and that brings John Scherer to the plate.
Ball's hit the left field. It's got to be Alan Barnes out in left. He made a good play. The ball's hit so hard, he got it off the one hop, made a nice throw back into the infield, so the Grangers are not able to play to run. But as it is, the bases will be loaded for Scherer, the catcher.
That was a good pitch by Jacobs, too. Ahead in the count. Put one up in Patterson's eyes, and Patterson had to swing from around his hat bill.
And just
fortunately for Cartersville, he hit it so hard that, as you mentioned, Kyle, runner unable to score. Well, now a courtesy runner at second base.
Courtesy runner out for LaGrange is Joseph Daniel, number 8. He's on at second base.
So John Scherer now steps in with the bases loaded and 2 outs here in the top half of the fourth inning. Scherer 0 for 1 here in game 2. Flew out to left field to end the second. We'll see what he does here in the fourth as Scherer steps in against Jacobs. Jacobs gets the sign, the pitch. That one in there for a called strike, 0-1.
Yep, biggest spot in the game here. Probably the biggest spot in the series. Canes up 2, but the Grangers have the bases loaded and 2 outs.
Scherer steps back in. Again, Jacobs on the hill, checks the runners, the pitch. Swung on, and that ball fouled down the third base line, 0-2.
So another 0-2 count. Jacobs was unable to get the last hitter, but he gets a reprieve here against Scherer. See if he can get the Canes out of a big jam.
John Scherer back in the box. Pitch by Jacobs. That one in there for called strike 3, gets him looking, and that'll do it. The Grangers load him up, but they leave him there. We move to the bottom half of the fourth inning. It's still Cartersville 2, LaGrange nothing. We'll take a quick break and come back. You're watching the high school baseball game of the week and listening to WBHM AM 1450.
Michael Jacobs still on the mound for the LaGrange Grangers. Cartersville leads it 2-0. Now in the bottom of the fourth, Cartersville trying to earn a split in this first game doubleheader. The second game of this doubleheader. LaGrange won game 1 4-1. It's championship time. Jacobs on the mound. Cavalry steps in. The left-hander's first pitch is low for ball 1.
Cavalry was hit by a pitch in the second and scored on the Lyon Allen double.
The wind and the pitch tapped right back to the mound. Jacobs will gather it in, throw over to first, and there's one away in the bottom of the fourth.
Canes still only 2 base hits in this second game. Yet they lead it 2-0 here in the bottom of the fourth.
That'll bring Lyle Allen to the plate. Doubled back in the second inning. Left-handed batter against the left-handed throwing Michael Jacobs.
Pitch by Knowles that time, a swing and a miss to Lyle Allen.
Yeah, Corey Knowles that time got the fastball by Lyle Allen. Lyle hit an all-speed pitch down the line in right field for that double.
Allen steps back in the pitch, swung on and missed that time. 0-2 now to Allen. Hurricanes leading it 2-0 on the Century Bank scoreboard as we are here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. Cartersville trying to add to their lead. The stretch in the pitch by Knowles, swung on and missed that time as it's fouled back to the catcher. Strike 3, and it's 2 up, 2 down for the Canes here in the fourth. That brings Travis Henderson to the plate. Henderson 0 for 1 here in game number 2, struck out looking back in the second. He'll try to get something going.
Canes really have struggled at the plate today. 11th inning, they'll send hitters to the plate, only 3 runs.
That pitch swung on and fouled out of the park, 0-1. We'd like to congratulate Columbus High School on a state championship. They are the first team in the state to lay claim to a title this year. I believe they won 11-0 and 9-1. The pitch, that one high and away. 1-1 the count. Henderson steps back in. The stretch and the pitch by Knowles. Swung on and missed. He fouls that one back. 1-2.
Knowles really has the Hurricane hitter's number right now.
The stretch and the pitch by Knowles. That one misses away. 2-2. They get bad here because if Travis Henderson gets on, Alan Barnes comes up next. And Barnes has been a little quiet recently, and he may be due up for something. Knowles back up on the hill. The left-hander delivers. That one misses low, full count.
Yeah, so a big pitch here. Canes don't want to make this fourth inning that easy for Knowles. Got some momentum when they got out of that bases loaded jam in the fourth, but haven't done anything offensively.
The pitch, that one way inside, and he walks him, and Henderson is aboard. So now Alan Barnes comes to the plate.
Like you said, Scott, chance for AB to help his ball club out here. As you said, he has, by his standards, gone to a little bit of a slump. He did have a hit in the first game, at least by his playoff standards. He has been on fire.
Barnes steps in. Knowles with the pitch. That one in there for a called strike, 0-1.
The thing that makes Knowles so tough is he can get ahead of you with either his fastball or his off speed. And it really is a guessing game up there.
The pitch to Barnes, that one in there for a called strike, 0-2. Pitch looked pretty good right there.
Yep.
Out belt high over the plate. Barnes steps back in. The 0-2 pitch on the way. That one high and away, 1-2. Barnes holds off that one. Again, Alan Barnes is most dangerous when he's swinging the stick. The pitch. Swung on and that ball fouled away, 1-2. Good at bat for Barnes. Way to protect the plate here with 2 strikes. And Knowles heads back up on the hill.
Canes really, though, looking for some insurance. They need it, only up 2. Have to win this game.
Barnes steps back in, Knowles on the hill. Left-hander with the pitch. That one way inside and he hits him. And now the Hurricanes will bring Michael Jacobs to the plate. Now with a runner in scoring position, and Jacobs has an opportunity to help his own cause.
So after cruising along here, the first 2 batters, Corey Knowles in this inning, walks 1, hits another, after he had 2 strikes on each. So now Michael Jacobs has a chance, Scott, to, as you say, help his own cause.
Michael Jacobs now steps in. 0 for 1, he grounded out to short in his first at bat. First pitch swung on and missed that time, 0-1.
Jacobs really helped Knowles out that time. That curveball wasn't anywhere close to being a strike, but Jacobs hacked.
You know, in a time of day where it's going from daylight to adjusting to the lights, I'm wondering if they're having some trouble picking up the baseball.
The pitch by Knowles, swung on and missed that time, 0-2 to Michael Jacobs.
Exactly right, Matt. It is that time of day where it is kind of hard to pick up the ball, and it will continue to be that way until it turns completely dark here.
The pitch to Jacobs, swung on, he fouls that one back. It remains 0-2. And every pitch that Knowles throws helps you out down the road. 2-0 your score. Cartersville leading this one. Again, we're in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Canes threatening with a runner in scoring position, 2 out. The pitch swung on, and that ball hit in the infield. It's a slow roller. Coming on to make the play that time is Manning. Throws on to first in time, and that'll do it. It goes 5-3, and the Hurricanes do get it done off 2 walks. They leave 2. We move to the top half of the 5th inning. It's still Cartersville 2, LaGrange 0. We'll take a quick break and come back. You're watching the high school baseball game of the week and listening to WBHF AM 1450. And welcome back to Granger Field. You're watching the high school baseball game of the week, and you're listening to WBHF AM 1450 as we move to the top half of the 5th inning, and the Grangers will come to the plate.
Tell you what, Jacobs took a head-first dive into first base trying to beat out that slow roller. Gotta love the competitive spirit of the guy, but you know, when you're pitching, you really don't want to go diving into bases and bang up a finger or a shoulder or an elbow. So he looks very Russ Mitchell-like now. Russ used to look like that after his first at-bat of the game, just covered in dirt from head to toe, but fortunately, Jacobs not injured on the play.
9-1-2 coming to the plate here for the Grangers as John Kelton will again hit in the 9 spot for Michael Manning.
Canes continue to leave runners on base and do it in abundance. 2 more left on that inning. Just haven't had that big hit to bust open a big inning here in this series. But the good news is Jacobs so far has kept LaGrange off the board. Canes are asking him for 3 more strong innings of work.
John Kelton now steps in, hitting from the left side of the box against Michael Jacobs. Jacobs again gets the sign from Aubrey Caverly. The right-hander delivers. That one in there for a called strike, 0-1. And again, Jacobs gets ahead early. Kelton steps back in the pitch. Swung on and misses. He chases a high fastball, 0-2.
Ball was up the ladder a little bit, and Kelton couldn't catch up.
Well, I think you throw him another one right there. Eyeball high, about a foot outside, and see if he swings at it again.
The stretch and the pitch to Kelton. That one misses inside, 1-2.
It did go outside, Matt, but not high like you had wanted. I agree. Might as well try and see if he'll chase it again.
Kelton again steps back in.
See, I don't agree with that. He'd already started his windup when he called time.
Umpire calls time or grants timeout for Kelton after it appeared that Jacobs had gone into his windup.
The stretch and the pitch by Jacobs. Swung on, and that ball hammered into right field and foul.
Kelton was ready for that fastball, but thankfully for the Hurricanes was way ahead of it.
Again, 1-2 the count. See a shot of Michael Jacobs up on the hill. Again, he's roughing up another baseball. Michael Jacobs throws it in to have it inspected by our home plate umpire.
And quickly he says, no, you can't use that one, so.
Jacobs again back up on the hill. The stretch and the pitch to Kelton. That one in there for called strike 3, and he gets them looking. One up, one down for the Grangers.
I was going to say for Jacobs, Scott, he's really locating his fastball well today. He put that one right on the outside half of the plate. Kelton was frozen.
Tyler Moffatt now steps in, hitting from the left side of the box.
He goes 4 2/3 without striking anybody out, and then he strikes out 2 in a row. 1 gone here in the 5th.
Tyler Moffatt now steps in. He's 1 for 2. He singled in the first, grounded out in the 3rd, and the first pitch in there for a called strike, 0-1.
Hurricanes leading game 2 of this 3-game series. Score is 2-0. Top of the 5th, nobody on, 1 out.
Moffatt steps back in. 1-2 the count. Again, the stretch and the pitch by Jacobs. That one in there for a called strike, 0-2.
Beautiful off-speed pitch right there, and now he's way ahead.
Moffatt again steps back in. The stretch and the pitch. That one misses away. 1-2 the count.
Might have been just a little outside.
It's all right. That's where you want your 0-2 pitch, a little bit off the plate, get him to swing at something that's not a strike.
The stretch, the pitch. That one misses away. Two and two. Again, Jacobs with the stretch. The pitch. Swung on, and that ball popped out of play. Remains 2 and 2.
You want to get this out if you can for the Canes. This is the leadoff man for LaGrange. Keep him off the base paths.
Jacobs again back up on the hill. Again gets the sign from Caverly. The right-hander delivers. Swung on. That ball hit in the infield. Scotty Morris backhands it. Throws across the diamond. In time, it goes 6-3. And it's the second out in the books, and that brings Montoya Young to the plate.
Beautiful play. Any questions about Morris out at shortstop have been answered. That ball is hit well hard into the hole. Backhands it, plants and throws Moffatt out by really 5 or 6 steps at first.
Yeah, and really made it look easy along the way. You guys were saying he hasn't played that much shortstop, and
well,
really, at least not this year, looks very comfortable in doing so.
Well, throughout Little League, during the 2002 World Series run for that squad, he was the shortstop and was almost money there every day. The stretch and the pitch by Jacobs. That one high and away, 1-0 to Montoya Young.
Yeah, we bring up that Little League World Series team a lot because these guys, a lot of the, that team makes up this Cartersville team right now. They've played in big games, played on ESPN.
The pitch, that one high and inside, 2-0.
So a big situation like this, even though these guys are young, they've played in big baseball games.
The coaches on that squad did a fantastic job of preparing them for the next level. The stretch and the pitch by Jacobs. That one in there for a called strike. 2-1. Young steps back in. Again, Jacobs back up on the hill. The right-hander gets the sign from Caverly. The stretch, the pitch. Swung on, and that ball lasered into right field. It's down for a base hit. Young is going to turn the corner at first, but he'll stay right there. And that brings Brandon Monk to the plate with 2 outs.
Young shot that ball into right field. He went down the line pretty quick, too, worried that Lyle Allen was going to come up and try to throw him out at first like he did, or at least attempt to do against Moffatt back in the first inning. Well, that's big because that brings a tying run to the plate, and Brandon Monk.
So Monk steps in to face Michael Jacobs. Jacobs gets the sign, the pitch, swung on, and that ball hit the short. Scotty Morris fields it, turns around, throws to second in time, and the Hurricanes are out of the jam. They got the 3-hitter that time as the Grangers do it off a hit. They leave one. We move to the bottom half of the 5th. It's Cartersville 2, LaGrange nothing. We'll take a quick break and come back. You're listening to WBHF and watching the high school baseball game of the week.
6th inning of work. Hurricanes continue to lead by a score of 2-0. It'll be Corey Knowles, Andrew Manning, and Drew Murray, the first 3 against them. And tell you all about it, here's Scott Singer.
Thanks a lot, Matt. We apologize to our television viewers. We are working on 2 outlets. That's all they put here in this park, and every media outlet here is coming off of one circuit, and unfortunately, after so many hours, Georgia Power decided it was going to flip a little breaker there. We were back on. Everything should be good, and I apologize. You missed the top half of the 5th. You didn't miss much. Scotty Morris struck out. Will Davis grounded out to the pitcher, and Zach Kiesler flew out.
That's not like you missed a game-winning home run or anything.
Yeah. The pitch swung on, and that ball popped up to short. Scotty Morris calls everyone off and makes the out. 1 up, 1 down for the Grangers here in the 6th.
And that brings up Andrew Manning.
Manning 0 for 1 with a walk here in game number 2. Grounded out in the 2nd, walked in the 4th, and now he steps in.
Kane's trying to force that game 3 tomorrow, but still a lot of work to be done here.
The pitch to Manning misses outside, 1-0. The Canes step back in. The pitch, that one missed outside, 2-0.
Pitch barely missed to Manning, and now Jacobs in a 2-0 hole.
That ball swung on, hit right back to the pitcher. Jacobs one-hands it, throws on to first in time, and that's the 2nd out of the inning. It goes 1-3, and that brings Drew Murray to the plate.
When we got here, it smelled like sunscreen, and now it smells like insect repellent.
Been a long day at the park.
Drew Murray now steps in, hitting from the right side of the box. The stretch and the pitch. That one in there for a called strike, 0-1.
Murray has grounded his shorties flat out to right.
And he steps back in. Again, Jacobs back up on the hill. The right-hander gets the sign and delivers. Swung on, and that ball fouled away. 0-2.
A lot of bite on that Jacobs breaking ball, probably the best one he's thrown all night.
Well, yeah, when you talk to the Cartersville coaching staff and they talk about Michael Jacobs, they often say that he gets stronger as the game goes on. That has been the case tonight, and hopefully it will continue for the duration of this contest.
Michael Jacobs with the pitch. Swung on, and that ball hammered toward left field, going back toward the fence, and along the track is Alan Barnes to make the final out of the inning. And that time the Grangers go in order in the 6th. We move to the bottom half of the inning. We'll be right back after this. Canes leading it 2-0. We'll take a quick break and come back. You're watching and listening to the high school baseball game of the week. It's the 2004 AAA State Championship.
Are 3 outs away from forcing a game 3, and are looking for a little bit of insurance. It's the bottom of the 6th inning. Cartersville leading 2-0. They lost game 1 by a score of 4-1. Matt Santini and Kyle Tucker, along with a pacing Scott Center right now, trying to figure out. I think we're getting ready to blow a circuit with one of the television cameras. So while he gets that straightened out, we'll give you the descriptions and accounts. Tyler Gilreath will lead it off, the designated hitter. He is 0 for 2 in this game. Left-handed batter against the left-handed throwing Knowles. That ball is fouled away at the plate and over the LaGrange dugout. It's 0-1.
Canes really could use some insurance. They're up 2. We're already in the bottom of the 6th. This game has flown by.
Gilreath digs back in. Knowles with the wind. Fastball fouled back against the screen, and it's quickly 0-2.
Well, Matt, we've gotten what we thought we'd see today. We thought we'd see 2 pitchers' duels, and we've seen just that.
Well, to your credit, I came up here, I've been around all this stuff all year, and I asked you what to expect. You said it'd be 2 low-scoring ball games, not knowing which way they'll go. The 0-2 pitch is up and away to Gilreath, and we've had exactly that. The first game was 2-1 till the 6th inning, and LaGrange tacked on a couple there. And what was a very close ball game, Cartersville actually out-hit LaGrange. That ball shot foul down the left field side.
And then we have that case,
1-2.
Same case here. LaGrange is actually out hitting Cartersville here in game 2, yet Cartersville leads on the scoreboard.
It was a Will Davis home run in the first inning. And then Caberly scored on a double by Lyle Allen. It was actually a pinch runner for Caberly that scored. The 1-2 pitch to the designated hitter is on the way. And it's way outside. He's worked it to 2-2. He's back even.
2-2 count. A big at bat here for the Canes, Matt. If the Hurricanes can muster a run or 2 here, that would really help their cause when they're looking for 3 next inning.
That ball shot to the left center field gap. It's going to get down. Gilreath will round first, make his way towards second base. Batchelor, his throw comes in to Monk at shortstop, and the Hurricanes have a leadoff double.
That ball, you see, that ball was smoked into the left center field gap. Beautiful swing by Gilreath. Lefty gets a fastball on the outside part of the plate, and that's what you got to do. The ball's pitched away, you got to hit it that way, and he hits it into the left center field gap. And the Canes have that insurance that Scott was talking about at second base, and that's Jacob Roberts, the courtesy runner.
It's going to be a pinch runner, actually, for.
Okay, right, because that's the designated hitter.
Remember, in high school baseball, you can exit and re-enter 1 time, so Gilreath could still be the designated hitter. They've just pulled him out for a pinch runner right now. They used to do that to me a lot in high school. Can you imagine that?
So Aubrey Caverly will now step in with a runner in scoring position and nobody out here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. The Hurricanes looking to get a little insurance. Caverly steps in, hitting from the right side of the box with a runner in scoring position now as Jacob Roberts takes a lead off the bag. The pitch, that one high and away, 1-0 to Aubrey Caverly.
Yeah, Canes just any way possible. Just want to push that one across if they can. Obviously, they would take more.
Aubrey Caverly steps back in. The left-hander delivers. A swing and a miss that time, 1-1.
Caverly way behind the fastball right there. Cane hitters have I think this fastball you're talking about earlier, Matt, by Corey Knowles is really deceiving. It's a lot quicker than what you think it is, and the Hurricane hitters have been behind it all day.
Well, when you spot it like that and you throw so many curveballs.
That ball swung, hit right into the infield. They're going to go ahead and throw on to first in time. A great sacrifice by Caverly as it moves the runner over to third with only one out.
Nicely done by Caverly. Kind of interesting. You let him, I guess, you let him swing away once. See if he can't hit it in the outfield. Then you bunt him, and he makes a nice bunt. And that's up to Lyle Allen.
Well, it's interesting from the standpoint that, now you've got Lyle Allen, a left-handed hitter, going up against a left-handed pitcher. Last time, Lyle really tried to pull the ball down the right field line. I'd like to see him slap one to left field right here as Knowles has been trying to work away from him.
First pitch to Allen, misses outside, 1-0.
Well, his job, too, he just needs to hit a ball hard to the outfield. A fly ball gets the job done here. Drawn in infield, too, for LaGrange.
His RBI double was the second run scored by the Hurricanes.
That one in there for a called strike, 1-1.
That might have been the one he could have driven, but we stay with an even count at a ball and a strike.
Lyle Allen steps back in. The stretch and the pitch by Knowles. Swung on and missed that time as he cruises it around the outside corner of the plate. Good pitch by Knowles. Outside breaking ball, and Allen was full.
So they're working away from him. He needs to keep that front shoulder in, put it towards the plate, and hit the ball to the left side.
1-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and missed, and he goes down on strikes, and Allen is out. Second out of the inning, and that brings Travis Henderson to the plate.
That hurts because now they'll take a 2-out hit. And that time Allen was looking breaking ball and really had no chance on the fastball.
The pitch, that one misses low, 1-0 to Travis Henderson. Again, if Henderson gets on, Alan Barnes would be up next. Henderson looking for a hit to give the Canes a 3-run advantage. They lead it 2-0 here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. The pitch, swung on, and that ball fouled down the third base line, 1-1 the count.
Henderson's got guard against that fastball coming, especially on that inside part. That's how they struck him out back in the second. They threw him some off speed, and then when he was looking off speed, they threw a fastball by him. Kind of set him up for that again here.
Travis Henderson now steps back in. Corey Knowles up on the hill. The left-hander gets the sign from John Scher and delivers. Swung on, and that ball fouled away. 1-2 the count.
Travis had a good hack. Fought that fastball off, but now he's down in the count. 1-2.
Again, Henderson steps back in. The stretch and the pitch. That one low and inside, 2-2.
Good eye by Henderson. Ball was borderline, might have been a little low.
Very close to take with 2 strikes.
Yes, it is.
Those have gone both ways tonight.
Henderson steps back in. 2-2 pitch, hit over to short. Coming on to make the play is Brandon Monk. Throws across the diamond in time. It goes 6-3, and that'll do it. The Hurricanes do threaten off a leadoff hit, and they leave him there. We now move to the top half of the 7th inning where the Hurricanes will look for 3. You're listening to WBHF and watching the high school baseball game of the week. And welcome back to Granger Field. You're listening to WBHF and watching the high school baseball game of the week as we move to the top half of the 7th inning as the Hurricanes will look for 3. Michael Jacobs on the hill. He has worked 6 strong, allowing only 4 hits, no runs, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts.
But a guy he has not been able to get out all day, and that's Justin Patterson. He's 2 for 2 with 2 singles.
Patterson steps in, the first pitch. That one in there for a called strike, 0-1.
Scott, I know you're superstitious. If they hold on here, do you want that lady banging that umbrella behind your head all game on tomorrow?
I'll take it. The stretch and the pitch. Swung on, and that ball ripped toward right field, going back toward the fence. Lyle Allen on the run, and he camps underneath it to make the first out. 1 up, 1 down here for the Grangers.
Wow, when that ball was first hit, I didn't think there's any way Allen could get under it, but man, he really tracks the ball well out in right field. And that ball is tailing towards the line, going towards the fence and everything.
Well, this is a tough time of night, too. The sky is not totally dark, and then it's the lights. It's still not any sunlight, but the lights haven't totally taken over the. It's not a dark sky to look up to. Good play by Allen as he ranges to the line.
John Scherer steps in now, the pitch. That one way inside, and he hits him, and Scherer is aboard. So Scherer takes first
with a smile on his
on
face.
the hit by pitch, and he represents, well, now coming to the plate is John Kelton, who represents the tying run.
Yeah, that really is tough for the Canes. Because like you said, that tying run's now at the plate.
Double play is in for the Canes with a runner on first and one out. John Kelton steps in the pitch. That one in there for a called strike, 0-1.
LaGrange not happy with that call, but it is what it is, and it's 0-1.
John Kelton steps back in. And stepping off the hill that time is Michael Jacobs. Jacobs back up on the hill. Checks the runner at first and now steps off the mound. 0-1 the count now to John Kelton, the 9-hitter. Umpire says play ball. The pitch by Jacobs, that one in the dirt.
Good play by Caverly there to keep the ball in front of him. Runner could not advance, keeping the double play in order.
Exactly.
That ball hit about a foot in front of the plate.
Caverly gets back down. Michael Jacobs again gets the sign. The pitch swung on, and that ball popped up. On the run is Cody Nix. He's going to wave everybody off, and he makes the out. Great effort that time by Nix at second base. And it's 2 up, or actually, it's been 3 up, a walk, and 2 down.
Now you're 1 out away from the win.
Moffatt is 0 for 3. He's hit the ball to shortstop.
Actually,
check that, he's 1 for 3. But he's hit the ball to shortstop the last 2 times up.
He'll pitch with a man on the pitch. That one in there for a called strike, 0-1 to Tyler Moffatt. Top of the order up here for the Grangers. 2 down in the top half of the 7th inning. Hurricanes need 1 out to force game 3 tomorrow. Michael Jacobs up on the hill. The right-hander gets the sign from Caverly. The pitch. That one misses inside, 1-1. Tyler Moffatt steps back in. Jacobs again back up on the hill. The right-hander again gets the sign from Aubrey Caverly. He delivers. That one misses outside, 2-1.
Must have barely missed. And now Moffatt's ahead in the count.
Michael Jacobs back up on the hill, 2-1 the count to Moffatt. The pitch. That one misses outside, 3-1.
Don't want to walk him because that would bring the go-ahead run to the plate.
Moffatt steps back in. 3-1 pitch. Swung on, and that ball lasered into center field. It's down for a base hit. Coming on to make the play is Travis Henderson. It gets away from him. The Hurricanes will bring it in, and now they'll hold up runners at second and third for Montoya Young.
The ball was laced by Moffatt, and that's what happens when you get behind in the count. It was 3-1. And Jacobs threw a high fastball. Now all of a sudden a base hit would probably tie this ball game up. So
Head coach Stuart Chester's making his way to the mound now. This will be the first charge conference to the Hurricane dugout. He's just telling the infield, calm down, don't worry about the runners. We're worried about the guy at the plate right now.
if you get the guy at the plate out, you win the game.
I think what he's doing is just telling him, just calm down. Let's just get this one batter and let's worry about tomorrow. Now, one thing to mention, this time of night, we talked about the sky, but what happens this time of night is that grass gets a little bit dewy and a little bit slick.
Right.
That ball kind of skipped on Henderson a little bit. That made the runners able to go to second and third. We know Montoya had a big home run in the first game. He singled in his last at bat.
He steps in, the stretch and the pitch. That one in the dirt, 1-0.
Canes just need an out. Any type of out will work.
Montoya Young steps back in. The 1-0 pitch on the way. That one high and inside, 2-0.
Don't want to work behind. It's when you get in trouble as a pitcher, but right now Jacobs is behind 2-0.
2-0 the count, the pitch. That one misses away, 3-0.
And I think right now Michael Jacobs might be trying to place the ball a little bit instead of throwing it like he has been.
Got to be careful here, 3-0 though.
The pitch. That one in there for a called strike, 3-1. That time Montoya Young was on his way to first base.
So Jacobs back in it here.
The stretch, the pitch, swung on. That ball lasered by first base. One run will come home. The tying run is on the way. We could have a play at the plate. Aubrey Cassidy sticks him. Canes wins. Yes, sir! The Hurricanes, they've taken game number 2. They have forced game 3. An excellent throw. A P shot from right field by the freshman Lyle Allen. Aubrey Taverley applies the tag, and the Hurricanes have forced game number 3 tomorrow. The drama continues. They will play for everything tomorrow at 1 o'clock.
I tell you what, guys, you can talk all you want to about that Lyle Allen throw, and it was on the money, and it was fantastic. But let me tell you what, Aubrey Caverly right there behind the plate planted his foot down, prevented the runner from coming home. Moffatt got stoned at the plate. He actually should have hit that plate had Caverly not stopped him, and the Lyle Allen throw and the Caverly tag has us here tomorrow at 1 o'clock.
Aubrey Caverly, who came through in the state quarterfinals big time, has come through again. As we catch our breath, we'll take a quick 2-minute break and come back and break this one down from Granger Field. And what an effort by the Canes. They have forced game 3. The tying run was coming around third. Aubrey Caverly, as you said, Matt, applies the tag. That is just a second-level catcher move right there, and the Hurricanes have forced game number 3 tomorrow. We will play for everything right here at Granger Field at 1 o'clock. We'll take a quick break and come back. Again, you're watching the high school baseball game of the week and listening to WBHF AM 1450. And welcome back to Granger Field. You're watching the high school baseball game of the week and listening to WBHF AM 1450 as the Hurricanes pull off a tremendous quick look at it right now on the instant replay, and you see a great throw from the outfield and more impressive, an unbelievable tag by Aubrey Caverly, and that forces game number 3 tomorrow, and the Hurricanes will play for their 4th consecutive state championship, and we'll see who can swing the bats tomorrow.
Right, and somebody Tuesday referred to these Canes as the cardiac Canes, and you know, Matt, I guess the way this week has gone, they are just that. I mean, second victory they've gotten in 4 days in a thrilling manner, and like Scott said, they force a game 3 tomorrow.
Well, I don't know how many people in blue on the other side of the field are going to sleep very well tonight. They had a well-hit ball to right field. Looked like they were going to be tying the game. Really, on a ball that's hit with 2 outs and you got a man on second, really difficult to not have that guy score. You should be going with the crack of the bat. And a missed opportunity for the Grangers. We talked about it in game number 1 where the Hurricanes didn't take advantage of some opportunities. LaGrange did in game number 2. Cartersville makes the most of the few hits they've got, and then the Grangers, well, they can't push it across. Great play by the Hurricanes, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. I'm not so interested in who's going to hit the ball tomorrow. I'm interested in who's going to throw the ball tomorrow, because that's going to have a lot to do with what the outcome of game number 3 is.
Right, it'll be who can find a hot pitcher. We saw Tuesday in that game 3 at South Effingham, yeah, both teams put up a lot of runs, but it was Cartersville that was kind of able to hold South Effingham at bay in the latter innings with Zach Kiesler on the mound. And, of course, Kiesler hit the game-winning home run in the bottom of the 7th, but that was why the Hurricanes were able to win, is because Kiesler kept South Effingham at bay in the 5th, 6th, and 7th inning.
So you think maybe a combination of Benji Farr and Zach Kiesler tomorrow in game 3?
That would be my guess. I think, there's a chance everybody can throw. Everybody's available tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last game of the season no matter what. And, we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting to see what both sides do. It'll be interesting to see if LaGrange brings back either one of these 2 guys that just threw today. And if Matt Hightower is going to throw it off for Cartersville tomorrow, that question will be answered tomorrow here at game 3.
One thing you can look back to is the game 3 they played in Athens,
right,
where Cartersville was victorious 9-1, and in that series, neither team, they made a pact pre-game that neither team would throw their 1 or 2 pitchers. So that meant, in Cartersville's case at the time, it meant Zach Kiesler and Michael Jacobs could not throw because they were the 1 and 2 going into the playoffs, or considered 1 and 2. That was when Benji Farr really showed how good he was. He stepped up. Trey Carnes played well in that game. So a lot of good throwing, and Cartersville did walk away with a 9-1 victory. So you got to figure that seed has been planted. We'll take a look at some of the final numbers in this one. Getting the victory was Michael Jacobs. He worked 7 innings, faced 29 batters, gave up 6 hits, 1 run. It was earned, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Taking the loss was Corey Knowles. He worked 6 innings, faced 26 batters, 3 hits, 2 runs. They were both earned, 4 walks and 6 strikeouts. At the plate for LaGrange, Tyler Moffatt 2 for 4 with a double. Montoya Young 2 for 4 with an RBI. Brandon Monk 0 for 4. Corey Knowles 0 for 3. Andrew Manning 0 for 2 with a walk. Drew Murray 0 for 3. Justin Patterson 2 for 3. John Scherer 0 for 2 with a walk. And John Kelton 0 for 3 in the loss. For the Canes, Scotty Morris 1 for 3. Will Davis 1 for 3 with a home run. Tyler Gilreath 1 for 3 with a double. Zach Kiesler 0 for 3. Aubrey Caverly 0 for 2 with a walk. Lyle Allen 1 for 3 with a double. Travis Henderson 0 for 2 with a walk. Alan Barnes 0 for 1 with a walk. and Michael Jacobs was 0 for 2 in the win. With the victory, the Canes now improve to 32-6 on the year, and they are now going to play for their 4th consecutive state championship tomorrow in one game of winner-take-all right here at Granger Field. And what an effort it was here we saw tonight, and what a great defensive play by Aubrey Caverly. With the win, the Hurricanes again force Game 3 tomorrow, 1 o'clock. You can hear it live on WBHF AM 1450 right here, your best channel in Cartersville and Bartow County. And then, of course, you can catch the replay of this one by Workhorse Video Productions. I'd like to thank our television sponsors for tonight's game: the Century Bank, Gilreath Carpet, the Cartersville Medical Center, the Image Source in Adairsville, Action Rental, the Styles Collision Center, SportsMax, Bodyplex, the Blue Sky Car Wash, United States Industrial Supply, the Capri Restaurant, Aflac Insurance, Matheson Glass, North Metro Technical College, Parmenter, Langford, and Watkins Insurance, Owens Hardware, the Bartow Animal Hospital, Hightower Construction, the Bartow County Bank, WBHF AM 1450, Crescent Bank, and Badcock Home Furniture, and more. I'd like to thank the crew for tonight's game: Brandon Brantley, along with Michael Turner and Dale Henderson. I'm Scott Singer, along with Kyle Tucker and Matt Santini, saying good night. We'll see you again tomorrow afternoon.